Hey everyone, my name is Arthur, and today I wanted to review and talk about some of my thoughts on the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is a really great book, and to understand more about it, I think we need to understand where Dale Carnegie comes from. Just kind of a little bit of his background, and he has quite an extensive background. Um, and I won't go into much detail, but Dale Carnegie was born in the 1880s. He was born really poor to farmer parents, and he struggled really in the beginning of his life. He was able to save enough to go to college and then get a sales job. That's where really he got his beginnings in understanding communication and interpersonal relationships. From there, he started to pursue his dream in becoming a lecturer at the YMCA in New York. He was really broke and really didn't even have a place to live. But there, he really started tapping into people's desires to become more self confident and wanting to communicate better with people. And one thing led to another, and he was able to start selling out. The Carnegie Hall in New York and being able to give lectures to people, which is something really impressive to do, especially back in his age, in his time. So he wrote this book, and we'll go over a little bit of the points of this book, what he talks about, and why they're so important. The book is split up into four different parts, and these four parts he talks about. Part one, he talks about the fundamental techniques in handling people. I think that's a really good basis to start, where he talks about really why, how we should um, deal with and how we can communicate better with others, so that others will have more openness to our ideas, our thoughts, and from there he dives a little deeper. In part two, he talks about 6 ways to help to make people like you. Um, I feel like that's also a really great second step once you understand the fundamental techniques in handling people and dealing with others. Then he teaches us how to have people like us more. Next, he talks about in part three, he talks about winning people over to our way of thinking. A lot of times, we're going to need to present items, we're going to need to present ideas, we're going to need to bring our way of thinking into our teams, into whatever social interaction it may be. And here he gives us a lot of tips on how to help people see our way of thinking and why that's so important. And then in part four, the last part of his book, he talks about being a leader and how to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Being a leader is something that we all will get a chance to do at some point of our lives in some capacity, and it's important to understand how our teammates, our people that will be in our teams, will deal with us, how they will interact, and how we can help them to perform better, how to have them change in order to be most effective. Uh, this book really helps in especially the business world, and we can see the proof of that being that ever since it launched, it was a bestseller, and up until this day, if you look on some audiobook libraries, it's still one of the most sold books out there. And then apart from that, you get these really great minds saying that this book changed their lives. Um, and people in mind such like Warren Buffett, they have statements saying that this book really changed their lives. So I think that is proof in and of itself that it's a really great read, and something that we all should learn from. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about and give their reviews saying, "Oh, it's a good book, but it's making people change who they are, and they don't. Um, you're not being authentic when you necessarily follow the points in this book." And to that, I can kind of see where people would think that, but I really strongly believe that all the points that Dale Carnegie makes in his book is uh, only points to add to your character. And if you're not genuine in the way that you present these points or that you carry these points into your personal life, then these really won't serve you any benefit. So I'll go through some of the points that he makes, and I think that are really important to um, talk about, and something that will really help as you try to do business in your own life. He talks about points such as not criticizing, condemning, or complaining to people, giving honest and sincere appreciation. He talks about how a person's name is the most important word in their language to them. He talks about when we're wrong, we need to admit it quickly and emphatically. We need to always begin with praise and giving honest appreciation to others. So, these points really are points that we can add to our own characters no matter what position that we're in. And in being able to really do as the title says, to win friends and to influence people. So, the Dale Carnegie here, he teaches about communication and about leadership, something that's really important for us. The best way, I've read this book several times. I think some of the best ways to read this book is, of course, just going through it and seeing what he says. He remains on a very simple level. It's a very simple book to understand, where he gives several pointers and stories that we can relate to, but also going through it point by point and analyzing and seeing what we can do in our own personal lives. I know that as I've gone through this book, I did my best to use these pointers as I would reach them in the book, and apply them to my personal life to see how that would affect me and my family life, and then take that over to business. So there you have it. There's just a quick review and just my thoughts of this really, really powerful book. I think everyone should go through it at least once in their lifetime. These are all pointers that will help us improve communication. No matter what position we're in, there needs to be communication, and as we improve communication with people around us, our relationships will strengthen, and we'll just have a better understanding of other people as we meet them. So thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, please click like. That helps us out a lot. And please comment down in the comments below what you thought of this book. What were some of your favorite parts? I really love reading your comments, and seeing and learning from you guys as well. Also, if you have any comments of any books that are also great to read, I'd love to go through some new books, and especially as they relate to entrepreneurship. So thanks a lot. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you later. Thanks.